You know that feeling when anger just bubbles up inside you and you feel as if you're going to explode?
I think we've all had that. And some of us can have it more often than not. So I think it's an important thing that we discuss, because it's not a nice feeling to have, is it?
No,
When you're
it's something we have to learn to manage, really,
Yes.
for the benefit of ourselves and for the people around us, of course.
especially for the people around us, colleagues, families, everybody really. Nobody likes to be around somebody that's constantly, going to get furious.
Blow their top.
Yeah, blow their top every 5 minutes.
That's what we're going to be chatting about in this week's episode of Get Real with the English Sisters, Mind, Health and Anxiety. We are therapists, hypnotherapists to be precise, and we are here to help you feel calmer and feel better about your daily day. Anger is when, I think it's when your expectations are not met.
I do think that's really it, because our brain does like to predict. We're always constantly predicting what's going to happen next. That's how our brain functions, actually. We can predict. We know that when we get out, we're going to predict walking towards a bathroom. And then we end up doing.
What about there's no water?
When there's no water, that drives us crazy. If they've cut the water supply off, that can bring about a lot of anger.
Or the boiler's not working.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's freezing.
Because that's not what hopefully normally happens in everyday life. You wake up, you trip to the bathroom, everything is under normal conditions, so it's working. But when it doesn't work, when things that don't work, even like with our own health, sometimes when things don't work with our health, we can get angry.
We can get really angry. And
frustrated. And because our expectations are that we were supposed to be, functioning and normal, and then we end up, maybe that day we've got a horrible headache or something. And that can even make us feel angry, because we're angry at the fact that we have a headache. We're angry that we're not functioning properly. So there's the underlying reason to the anger is simply because there's a prediction error. The reality is not what we expected to see. And so like this error fires off in our brain. It's like, what's happening? We get this signal that something is in error. Something is not going by the default way. Something has happened that's made us feel that it's something different. And that can cause all that anger.
I know. It's shocking, isn't it?
So it's like when you drive to work and all of a sudden you see these roadworks and you're not expecting to see them because you didn't know about them for a start. And then these men are just blocking the road and they're doing their job fine. And you realise that there is no reason to be angry at them, but you become furious because that wasn't part of your prediction. Your prediction was just to be able to get to work, do your normal route, and everything to go okay.
And it's curious how it can escalate from being furious with the people in front of you to be furious with the whole area or the government or the world.
The whole world in the end.
It can really blow up, and you can really start generalising, and then it becomes like generalised anger, like everyone's out to get me, nothing works. And you can feel even more frustrated and angry.
I remember it in the UK when I used to get the trains all the time. And a lot of time there was train delays.
And
there
still are.
I mean, there still are, but there was like this general bubbling of... But if everything went well, it was just normal. Just, okay, the train will arrive on time. You would just get on the train and go off. I used to go to college, wherever you had to go. But as soon as you heard that, like, warning, there will be a delay, that voice, I remember looking around me, there were so many angry people. I remember once seeing a man, he actually had his newspaper, he was reading it, he rolled it up, he used to read newspapers in those days, and he literally threw it down to the floor. And then it was a whole massive... I mean, this was a gentleman as well.
No, there's no.
No, there was no, he wasn't.
There's no limit.
There's no limit. So it's not because
His anger takes you. It takes
it
you.
just took him. And I thought, he was, the newspaper, it like fell really close to where the train passes. What's it called? The train rails.
Tracks.
The tracks. And I thought, God, he's going to lose that. He's not going to go and get it. And when he didn't, because he didn't, he just left it. He threw it down with such a wild rage.
I was thinking about when we were playing golf the other day, and they were this
I mean,
man
that's a
threw-
privilege, isn't it, to be able to play
It's a
golf?
beautiful privilege.
It's a
You're
sport.
supposed to be enjoying it. I mean, okay, it was like a competition, but still, it was like a Saturday and calm.
Not
and
work.
Then, and someone threw their golf club into the tree. I mean, it sounds
Really
funny.
into the tree.
Into the trees.
In a fit of rage.
In a fit of rage.
Why? Because
they
what
weren't-
he'd imagined in
Imagine
it,
being
or
able
he,
to hit
yeah.
it properly.
There was a prediction error. Error fires
And the
off a
frustration.
fire signal which causes anger.
And that, I mean, everyone found it amusing, but because
It wasn't amusing for him.
It wasn't amusing for him, and it wasn't amusing for the tree. Or if anyone had been around, they could have got hurt. So I mean, it's
Gosh.
like it's against the etiquettes of.
Imagine getting a
Anything.
golf club. I mean,
Well,
that's
people
worse than the
have thrown
newspaper.
Golf bags, very expensive, and everything into lakes in fits of anger.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because that's such a classical
Because
example,
they
isn't it?
expect to be able to play the sport, which is very difficult, well, and they can't match. their
It doesn't
expectations.
match their expectations.
I mean,
They're not
this is
getting.
a frivolous conversation, but it shows that in reality it's the same thing. If you end up, you say you want to buy a house and you can't get the job you need and the salary you need to buy that house, you can end up being really angry, and it can be like, it can go into stages of like chronic anger where it just kind of bubbles up inside you every day, causing sadness. It can even cause depression, and it affects your life and everyone's life around you.
Because it's chronic, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
because
do.
it's-
Yeah, these chronically angry people that are just mad about everything.
And there's an explanation behind it for maybe some past trauma that's happened, or you just expected things to be different. Maybe you had a more privileged upbringing, and then you find yourself struggling, or you expect you believe that your parents have higher expectation of you than you have of yourself, and that causes frustration and anger. So
A lot of the time it happens in relationships as well, I
Oh,
was
yes,
thinking,
in
because
relationships,
you
common.
expect that person to be a certain way because based on your beliefs, or based on perhaps how you were brought up. So saying you had like a mother who was extremely nurturing and always fussing over you, for example, and then you find that your partner is different, and it doesn't, and at first you like that.
yes,
Because it's a novelty, and you
Yes,
think,
and it's
wow,
something new and
your
different.
brain is slightly tantalized by it, and you think, oh, that's exciting. Hey, that's all at the beginning. You've got all the flood of hormones, the love hormones, and all the lust, etc., is going on in your mind. And then afterwards, you start, hey, that's not, this person is not doing what, it's not matching what I expect. So, like, if I'm a woman, and I was going to say, obviously, no, it doesn't make any difference. But I am a woman, and I would have expected, since my father was a very kind, gentle person, for example, and I was brought up by a very kind, calm person, I expected my husband, which was very naive because he's Italian. He's very, very kind.
There's nothing.
That's also wrong.
It's a big generalization.
That's sorry, yeah, but it is a big generalization, yes.
That's a generalization, but in general, we know that they have
And putting me on the spot
They
here.
might have a little bit more of a temper.
They don't really, though, do
No,
they?
not really.
No, that is a massive generalisation. I don't. Yeah.
It just happened to be that your husband does.
He just happens to fit the stereotype.
Yes.
He does. And so he was like fiery and, you know, he was so different that it did not match at first what I kind of thought was supposed to be a husband and wife relationship.
Yes.
So that was quite surprising for me. Mm-hmm. And so that could, you know, especially at the beginning, that used to make me feel anger because it didn't match. Ah. Yes. And I think I carried this built up anger without realising it. Yeah. Put me on the
turning
spot
into
here.
a therapy session.
Yeah,
No, honestly, I
it's
didn't
very
know
common.
That. I didn't know that this would cause that you expected him to be different.
Probably. I mean, I didn't realise I expected
at the
him.
time.
I did not realise it at first.
That's the thing about anger, that sometimes it creeps up on you. You don't realise why you are angry.
It's but that's the reason why, because you have an expectation
And it
based
can-
on something that you lived in your life.
Well, yes.
And that was not what I expected.
No, because Dad was very, very calm.
He was a super calm.
Unless he got angry, then he might curse in Hungarian a few words. But
yeah,
we didn't
because
understand
he was
them.
Hungarian. Yeah, we have.
So for us, it didn't really mean much.
Well, it
and
wasn't.
he didn't shout or anything. He would just like
Quietly.
kind of mutter it under his breath.
Yeah.
So and do a few little hand gestures. So it was very calm.
Very, very, very calm.
it?
He was like a
So I
quiet.
can imagine that being a lot different to
Can
your
you
husband,
see to
yes.
what I thought relationships
Whereas
like
my husband's very
married?
calm.
Your husband is like very, very, very similar.
Yeah, similar.
You found a similar kind of personality, whereas the personality that happened to end up in my life was so different.
It was different.
That I think
Well, it is different.
that caused a lot of anger in me, because I used to think, well, how can you blow up for that? You know,
no reason.
how can you get angry for that? That's absolutely absurd.
But do you remember when I told that? Now it is coming to mind now. Do you remember when I gave you the advice that you had to blow up too?
Yes.
To kind of match his state,
match it.
to show him, because
Yes.
he was thinking that you weren't taking his anger seriously
Yes,
because you
because
remained calm.
I was so calm because I was thinking I
What's
couldn't.
going on here?
I couldn't really understand it. And I thought, well, why? Why are you?
But
what-
when you
how could
did,
this get you
when
angry?
you got angry back, he kind of understood it, and things got better, didn't
They
they?
did.
He kind of understood
Yeah.
you more.
Yeah.
It was like a miscommunication. He was like communicating through. Not that we recommend you do
No,
this.
no.
Not at all. But
Not at all,
sometimes,
but there are reasons.
as therapists, if you can understand where the other person is coming from, you can meet them in the same way, and then that can allow the waters to calm because they feel heard. They feel
Exactly,
heard.
because if somebody's shouting at you and you're saying something like, calm down,
yeah,
that's not going to help.
no,
Not when they're in a rage. If you say calm down, they do not calm down. Most of the time, the best thing, if you don't know what to say, is to remain silent, and then you can say something like, I hear you, I can hear you.
yeah.
You know, you can make sure that you're hearing what they're saying, because a lot of the time the anger is coming from that, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. Obviously, as well, if you're with somebody, obviously, if you're working with the
Non-violent,
public,
non-violent,
it's different.
yes.
Yes, and
Yes,
with
and,
someone non-violent, yes.
Yes, we're just talking
Not
about
physically
normal
violent,
anger.
verbal
Anger, normal
heated discussion.
heated, yes. Because apparently I'm saying everything wrong.
No, there's no
Doing all
wrongs or
these
rights.
stereotypes,
It's good, because
yes.
this is what this podcast is
Yes,
about. It's
yes.
a genuine conversation.
It's a genuine,
It's
yeah,
not
please.
like, it's not.
It's not AI based
No,
at
it's
all.
not AI generated.
No,
It's
no.
what comes up.
It's what is natural. This is what's
naturally
true. Yeah.
coming up.
It is naturally coming up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's true. When if you have somebody that fires up in front of you and you stay calm, they can also see that calmness as a like, what you're doing, you're like taking the mickey out of me. Why are you just ignoring me, kind of thing. So if you do match them a little bit, but not
said,
too much.
You said, I remember it was hilarious because you said, just swear back in Italian.
The same words he uses.
Exactly the same word, because I said, he said like these swear words. Another thing, our father would never swear. We
Except for he was
in Hungarian, but obviously, we didn't kind of understand that. But you're right, he was probably swearing his head off in Hungarian.
What it was.
We don't know. It's probably terrible, but yeah. To think about it, it's hilarious actually. But we didn't understand Hungarian when we were little, so we had no idea.
We knew they were swear words.
We did, because Mum told us.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh dear, he's really mad.
Yeah,
he's talking Hungarian, and I don't think they're kind words at the moment." She was saying, "I don't think they're very nice. Just as well, none of us can understand them."
Well,
so we're
she
just
was kind of taking the mickey out of him a little bit.
No, she wasn't. She would give him time to cool off. She would walk away.
Yes.
She would say, no, we must leave him now alone.
Yeah.
She would go away, literally physically move away. I mean, it was so rare. This would happen like once every 2 years.
It happened like 4 times in our lifetime.
Exactly. I mean, it was extremely rare.
Yeah, it was very unusual. We were very fortunate that way that we didn't grow up with
somebody
parents.
No, not at all. So somebody that tended to
that's why we're so calm maybe as well.
Probably, yeah. Like
I remember once getting angry and it actually shocked me.
Because you felt anger.
Because I've never felt this before practically in my life. And it was over a silly thing. It was that I'd bought a pair of shoes, brand new, and I took them back to the shop because they didn't fit properly.
A lot of women can probably relate.
Because when I tried them on properly, they didn't fit. Or I think they might have been for my daughter. Yeah, I think they're for my daughter, and they didn't fit her properly. So I said, can I exchange them? Not even money back. Can I exchange them for a larger size? And the lady said no. So then I literally felt my blood boil. Yeah. I felt like the rush of anger come up, and I said, "No, I'm sorry, but this isn't gonna happen. You're going to have to exchange them. There are European laws. I'm within my rights." And I think she said it's because I didn't have the box. Now in those days, and now people know to keep the box, but in those days there was no stipulation. It was like 10 years ago. There was no stipulation that you had to keep the box. And I just wanted to exchange them for another size so she could even keep the box. It wasn't a big deal. In the end, she did give them to me. But I was just thinking that's practically one of the only times that I've actually felt really, really angry.
That you can still remember it now.
Yeah.
Other times it's mild anger,
that reaction,
frustration.
To really feel my blood boil.
And now, if we analyse why did that happen, it's because it was a prediction error. You expected her to say, "Oh yes," especially because it's just a number, a change in number. I just want a smaller or a larger size, whatever it was. So you expected her to say yes, and when she just said no, that like put your brain into like some kind of big, large error, fire, and the signal, and you felt anger because it was an injustice.
Yes, it was an injustice.
And a lot of the time, injustices make us feel angry.
Yeah, because that, like what we were saying before, it's not just the injustice about the shoe. It gets generalised into injustice in society.
Yes.
You're not being respected. The lady wasn't respecting me. She's not respecting the human being. Law, but it goes up and up.
And it scales higher and higher.
Yes, it's not just a simple thing. And that's what happens a lot of our times in our relationships when we are arguing over something or discussing something. More often than not, what we are discussing is not really what we're, what behind it. The anger does not come from what you're discussing.
There's a big bag of anger hanging around our backs. It's like a big backpack, and there's lots of anger in there. And so that when an injustice occurs or something that you feel is an injustice, you can just suddenly burst out. And you can feel really, really unheard, and you feel, no, that's not fair.
And I think that happens in relationships a lot, doesn't it?
Because that's what I was saying about relationships.
We carry a lot of anger that we don't really realise it's anger, but
it is anger
there. And if it's not dealt with, if we don't address it, like if we don't have a sit down and say, I want to address these things that are getting me upset or angry, I mean,
You can carry it. You just carry it.
And you think, oh, never mind, it's not a big deal. Especially if you're busy, you think, oh well, haven't we got time to think about that?
That's why that's why a lot of the times when the couple goes away on a holiday,
they argue.
Yeah. You do end up maybe having fights, and you're thinking, why am I fighting? I'm on a holiday. Why? And that's the reason why is because that's the time when you have literally enough time to process your feelings, and you're starting to listen.
Yes.
You're starting to listen to yourself more, and you think, hey, and also your expectations aren't being matched perhaps because you expect something and that's not happening.
You expect to be wined and dined.
Well, you do. Well, yeah. I mean, like, why are you looking at me and laughing?
No, because I'm thinking that's what you do expect. When you go on holiday, you expect to be like super romantic.
Yes.
Go to lovely places. I mean, at least we do. I think most people that we know do as well.
You want it to be a good time.
You want it to be, yes. You want it to be extra special. And you're coming away from your daily life, your daily habits. So you want that extra special. So anything that doesn't match. I remember, like, my husband was annoyed because the coffee wasn't hot one holiday, and I was more relaxed about it, which is unusual. But I thought, no,
let's not moan about the coffee.
Let's not moan about the coffee in this beautiful place. But I mean, it really got on his nerves because it was cold. I mean, understandably as well. But
yeah, but come on, he did ask to have it heated, didn't he?
He did,
but he wasn't getting what he wanted.
Getting what he wanted, so he was getting pretty angry with the whole thing.
He was, yeah, because he was obviously carrying a lot of.
This is not that great, this holiday.
But that was at the time in his life when, if you think about it, he probably had a lot of frustrations from work.
He did, yes.
He had a lot of built-in anger there about other things. Yeah. So the coffee is just like. Oh, it's like the newspaper guy when he heard the 15-minute delay, and there's obviously other things going on, unless he had a really important reunion or something. But if you do have a really important thing, you would say, I'll get on the train 1 hour early. Yeah, that's what I would do, just to make sure.
We do, but that's probably why we don't have that much anger. Because we do plan ahead a lot, predict a lot.
Yes, yeah.
And we do predict a lot in the, it sounds bad, but like bad things are going to happen. Like we predict that the train might not come.
Yes, yeah.
Or that the plane might not be on time.
I always say that like to my husband, I always say, you never know. There might be a traffic jam. There might be, God forbid, a traffic accident.
Yes.
So let's leave like 30, 40 minutes extra. He said, "Why are you crazy? That's far too much."
I think that's why we're relaxed as well when we go.
So I'd just rather sit there like at the airport and have a coffee or whatever and not have to worry about not being there on time.
Exactly.
And I just enjoy that time.
So I think that's a good point. You can predict that, that your expectations aren't always going to be matched.
Yes.
Life gets a lot easier, doesn't it?
Man, if you predict they're not going to be met, then when they do get met, if something does happen that's wow, there was no traffic.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was great today. Look, we managed to get on here on time.
There was no train delays. Oh wow.
Great. Yeah, always on time.
Yeah, or if if you think there might be a delay, you say, well, I'll go to that coffee shop or I'll take something to work on or something. So if you can predict more, I think that's one of the key ways of staying more grounded and preventing anger from getting the better of you.
I really do believe, yes, that's true. Absolutely.
So like the golfer, if they predicted that they weren't going to be that great at golf that day, they probably wouldn't have thrown their golf clubs in the trees.
No, exactly. You have to be kind of a pessimist, a little bit of a pessimist
in a planning way.
Planning things that might not go as you expect them to go, and then whatever comes, you're a happy person.
Exactly. So thanks for listening. Do come and join us on YouTube where you can see the video, and do come and say hi on Instagram and tell us when anger got the better of you and how you wished that it hadn't, and what you might do in the future to stop this happening again.
Exactly.
Lots of love
And
and smiles from the English sisters. Bye.